The following is a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network.
Now on, hits a single to right field. That will score. Jaroszewski and the Stars take the lead on the RBI single by Hansen to right field.
Wells fights to keep his shoulder up. And his pin.
2:20 remains in the game. 4th and 17. The Vikings capitalize early on a big one. What will the Squirrels do? Deep pass down the field. Cooper Johnson and Mason. Oh my! What a fantastic catch by Cooper Johnson.
Riddle got in for down low. Iniger had it knocked free. Gets it back. Muscles his way in. Got it.
Let's turn things over to the broadcast booth. The pregame show starts now.
Okay, we're live. Good evening. Welcome to Kindred, North Dakota. My name is Mike Romero. Here with my wife Wendy. Kindred Vikings baseball. We're taking on Oak Grove Jacks. Again here at Kindred Varsity Field in beautiful Kindred, North Dakota, and we're getting ready to go. We'll start with the starting lineups. First of all, for the Oak Grove Jacks, they're coached by Andy Petrick. Leading off for the Jacks, number 17, Cam Liebel. He's playing first base. Batting second and playing at shortstop, double zeros, Ethan Dudek. And batting third will be the third baseman, number 31, Trey Hatfield. Batting cleanup and catching, number 24, Mason Hermstead. And batting fifth and playing in center field, number 20, John Ash. Batting sixth and playing at second base, number 11, Jake Ring. And pitching, number 10, Bjorn Eid. He's batting seventh. And batting eighth and the designated hitter tonight for the Jacks, number 34, Dakota Olson. Batting ninth and playing out in left field, number 6, Beck Alvin. And the designated hitter will bat for the right fielder, it looks like, number 1, Lincoln Machaya. He'll be playing out in right field. Now your starting lineups. You're running the starting lineups for the Kindred Vikings. Batting first and playing in right field, number 25, will be Nick Dahl. Batting second and catching, number 4, Owen Hoyme. Batting third and playing out at shortstop, number 17, Carson Krebsbach. And the cleanup hitter tonight, the pitcher, number 14, Tate Miller. And batting fifth for the Vikings, playing over at third base, number 12, Grant Spellhog. Playing in center field, and batting sixth, the center fielder, number 1, Jack McDonald. Batting seventh and playing over at first base, number 16, Carson Andel. Andy Traum bats eighth. He's playing at second base, number 10. And batting ninth will be Lucas Dahl. He's playing out in left field for the Vikings. Again, on the mound for the Vikings will be Tate Miller. And he'll be pitching to his battery mate, the catcher, Owen Hoyme. As they're doing the starting lineups for the Oak Grove Jacks, we'll just let PA announcer Paul Quislen take it from here. Actually, we'll go to break and we'll give it a minute, and we'll be right back with Kindred Vikings baseball.
Does a ghost pepper wing that doesn't send you into tears make any sense? Sure does to us. That's why Popeye's ghost pepper wings are more flavorful than fireful. Because in NOLA, we like to taste our food, not cry over it. We don't make sense. We make chicken. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
At Popeyes, we've got a feast for your family. Whether it's spicy or mild fried chicken or tenders, our brand new homestyle mac and cheese, or any of our other delicious sides, there's something for everyone at the table. Try it today and earn points with Popeyes Rewards.
Do you have a teen ready for driving lessons? Don't know what they need to do or when things need to be done? If busyness keeps you from driving with them, then Gotta Go Driving School is the place to call. Jeff Weber at Gotta Go Driving School has been teaching driving lessons to all age groups since 1991. Call Jeff at Gotta Go Driving, 238-0236. Jeff will tell you to start planning ahead now. Don't wait. Got a new driver? Then it's Gotta Go Driving School. Talk to Jeff or go online at gottagodrivingschool.com.
Game time is now only minutes away. Let's take a look at your starting lineups for this matchup.
Baseball League, as we play some baseball behind the dish tonight, will be Grant Harding. He'll be calling balls and strikes, and out on the base paths we have Andy Pugliano. Kindred Vikings are coached by Oakley Dubord and assisted by Connor Rowland. And we're just about ready to have some baseball. The Oak Grove Jacks, again, will be leading off. Will be Cam Liebel. He's the first baseman, number 17. Paul Quislin going through the concession stand. The concession stand is open. Good cheeseburgers, good hot dogs. About everything else that you can imagine. Sodas, water. My favorite, the Arnold Palmers. This is a B Legion game for the Vikings. I'd like to thank Magnitude Sports for bringing you this ball game tonight. I'd like to thank our sponsors as well. How about Bolger Funeral Home for helping us out? Goldmark Commercial Real Estate, Cheyenne Septic Service. Also Kindred State Bank, Stein Seed, Gotta Go Driving School, Park Company Realtors, Nipstead Farms and Nipstead Management Solutions, Kindred Storage, Kindred Area Arts Partnership, DJ's Plumbing, and Dakota Fins and Feathers. Thank you to our sponsors for bringing us Kindred Vikings Baseball on Magnitude Sports. Big Tate Miller is getting set to pitch for the Vikings. And again, leading off is Cam Liebel for the Jacks. He lines one out to right in our dead spot. And out there to make the grab is Nick Dahl. One pitch, one out. Nick Dahl with the grab out in right field on the liner out to left, or out to right field, I'm sorry. One down on one pitch from Tate Miller. He rocks and fires. Strike one to the shortstop, Ethan Dudek. He's double zeros. Right-handed hitter. 0-1 the count. Line drive out to center field. This will fall in front of the center fielder, McDonald. So a one-out base hit for Dudek. Puts a runner on base. That'll bring up the third hitter in the lineup, Trey Hatfield. He's a third baseman. Now the lefty kicks and fires. Ground ball to the hole on the left side and through for a base hit. Tell you what, the Jacks are being aggressive and taking hacks right away. Ground ball through the left side for a single for Trey Hatfield. Brings up the catcher, number 24, Mason Hermstead. Also a right-handed hitter. Runners on first and second, one out. 2 hits already for the Jacks. And Miller kicks and fires. Called strike by the home plate umpire. 0-1 the count. With the lefty on the mound, the base runners never really got a chance to see Miller's move over to first base. And here's a pitch in the dirt, and it's going to get past the catcher, Hoyme. The runners will advance on the wild pitch. Both runners in scoring position. With one out. Many ways to score from third base on this. Could be a ground out, a sacrifice fly. Of course, scoring on a hit or whatever. And Miller kicks and fires. Just a bit outside. Count rolls it at 2-1 with one out. Miller working to get back into the count here, to work back. Swing and a foul tip into the catcher's glove. Count rolls along at 2-2. The Vikings playing in, especially on the right side. And the third baseman and shortstop are rolling up a little bit as well. Playing in, trying to choke off the run at home. And the pitch. Swing and a line drive into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Scores at least one run. And another run will be scored as the ball's bobbled slightly out in right field. 2 runs come across for the Jacks, and they got it themselves a 2-0 lead. I'm going to score that a 2-run single. Both runs scored. Dudek scores. Hatfield comes around from second base. He scores. That brings up the center fielder, John Ashe. He hits a line drive out to right center. That one's caught by Johnson. There's a double-up attempt, but the throw goes wild. And that'll get past first baseman Andel, and I assume into the dugout because there's nobody picking up the baseball. So Hermstead was nearly picked off at first base, but he'll advance on the throwing error by the right fielder. So fly out to right, second out recorded. An attempt to pick him off over at first base fails, and it goes wide. Now there's a runner in scoring position once again. Ball low to the batter, Jake Ring, the second baseman. 1-0 the count. Jacks lead it 2-0. They have 3 hits. 1 error for the Vikings this inning on that throwing error by Nick Johnson. And Miller kicks and fires. Looks like a breaking ball in there for a strike. 2-1 the count. Miller only have 13 pitches. The Jacks being very aggressive early in the count, taking their hacks. Another strike. Off the mound for Miller. Evens up the count at 2-2. Ermstead out at second base, getting his lead. Here's a pitch, grounder over to third base, into the hole, and through for a base hit. And now it gets past the left fielder, Lucas Dahl. And Hermstead was going to hold up at third base, so I believe that'll go as an error on the left fielder. So a base hit for Ring. He moves to second base on the error. And Hermstead scores on that same error. And the Jacks have themselves a 3-0 lead. Second error of the inning for the Vikings. Here's a pitch by Miller. Ball outside. This is Bjorn Eid, the pitcher. Where's number 10, right-handed hitter. And here's a 1-0 from Miller. Fastball outside, 2-0. Jake Ring getting his lead out at second base. And here's a 2-0. Called strike one. 2-1 the count. Ring's base hit got past Spellhog over at third base, but he had to veer to his left to go try to make that play, so we're going to rule that a base hit. Would have been a tough play. Ball in the dirt. 3-1 the count. Nice stop by Hoyme behind the plate. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Jacks. And the pitch by Miller. Swinging a grounder over to third. Spellhog plays it, and it's booted down shortstop. Krebsbach picks it up. And I believe that'll be ruled an error on Spellhog. And that'll bring up runners on first and third base after the third error of the inning for the Vikings. And the designated hitter bats now, number 34, Dakota Olson. So Olson, the DH, has a chance to do some damage here, break this game open a little bit in the first inning. Swing and a foul tap up the first base line. Strike one. Miller wearing number 14. Takes a look at the runner on first. Fires. Another foul ball over towards the Vikings dugout. Now the count rolls along at 0-2. Miller with a chance to put this inning behind him. Finish it off. Minimize the damage here. And Miller rocks and fires. Fastball outside. Throw down to second on the steal is not in time. And we're going to have ourselves a double steal as Eide steals second base. And Ring comes home on that throw. Makes it 4-0 in favor of the Jacks. And here's a pitch. It's 2-2. Misses with a ball. Dakota Olson, big right-handed hitter. Takes a look at the Miller pitch. Down low. Count rolls along. They're even. Or actually a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Miller looks in. Eide gets his lead at second. Pitches up. Fastball up high. That'll go down as a walk for Olson. Beck Alvin, the hitter. He's the 9th hitter in the lineup. And the Jacks are going to bat around. Beck Alvin, number 6. Takes a hack at the first pitch and swings and misses. 0-1 the count. Beck Alvin, son of John Alvin from the Abercrombie Colfax area. Swing and a miss at the next pitch. 0-2 the count. Miller again trying to minimize the damage here. Trying to work his way out of this inning. Here's a pitch. Looked like a changeup. Slow curveball. Catches Alvin looking, and he goes down on strikes. At the end of 1/2 inning, the Jacks pick up 4 runs on 4 hits. There were 3 Kindred Vikings errors. And we go to the bottom of the first inning. We'll be back. You're listening to Kindred Vikings.
Buffalo Wild Wings isn't supposed to make a burger this good. Like, you might even forget we have wings good. So we threw in 6 boneless wings for $1 as a reminder. Buy any burger, get 6 boneless wings for $1. Only at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Abby says she wants to marry a B-Dubs Honey Barbecue wing. We get the sweet, tangy allure of honey barbecue sauce, but you can't marry a chicken wing. What are you going to serve at the wedding? Their family? 26 sauces and seasonings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Since 1897, families in the Red River Valley have depended on Bolger Funeral Home during life's toughest challenge. With each generation, we're committed to continuing that tradition of care and meeting the changing needs of families, from expanding our facilities to offering new technologies. And through it all, one thing remains the same: caring and affordable service. Always. Bolger Funeral Home. At this time, count on us.
Welcome back. Kindred Vikings baseball. Vikings find themselves down 4-0. After 1/2 inning, they're coming to bat. Nick Dahl will lead off, the right fielder. Vikings did commit 3 errors in the top half of the first inning, helping the Jacks score themselves 4 runs. And so, we'll get the scoreboard corrected the next half inning when we get around to it. So we'll get that figured out. But 4 runs for the Jacks, and the Vikings are coming to bat. Their big right-handed pitcher, Bjorn Eide, right-hander, throwing to his battery mate, Mason Hermstead. And leading off again for the Vikings, right fielder Nick Dahl. Vikings have some ground to make up here in the first inning. And the right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball fouled back into the screen by Nick Dahl. 0-1 the count. Your Kindred Express Lane scoreboard shows 4-0 in favor of the Jacks. And this Kindred half inning is presented by Popeyes as Nick Dahl dribbles one out to second base. Underhand scoop over to first base. And we got ourselves our first out. Ring to Liebel in a 4-3 putout for Nick Dahl on the second pitch. One away. That'll bring up the catcher, number 4, Owen Hoyme. Eyed. Pitching out of the windup. Throws himself a curveball, misses outside. 1-0 to Hoyme. Miller threw 28 pitches for the Vikings in the top half of the first inning. Jacks were being very aggressive, swinging at a lot of first pitches as Hoyme sees a fastball in the dirt. 2-0 the count. And the pitch by Eyed. Fastball hit high in the air to center field. Ashe has it measured. He makes a catch, and there's 2 away. Fly out to center field. That'll bring up the shortstop, number 17, Carson Krebsbach. Vikings looking to get something started here with 2 outs. Krebsbach, right-handed hitter. And the pitch from Eyed. Fastball over for strike 1. Krebsbach has only thrown 6 pitches thus far. And here's number 7. Fastball grounded out to shortstop. And the shortstop makes a play. A 6-3 put out, Dudek to Liebel. And there's 3 outs. Vikings go down 1-2-3. And at the end of 1 inning, the Express Lane scoreboard shows the Jacks lead it 4-0 over the Vikings, and we'll be back. You're listening and watching Kindred Baseball. Let me look. You go to commercial? Who's right?
Boston Pizza harnessed Fanalytics to help optimize no-look dipping. Ooh! Making adjustments so you can stay focused on the game. The playoffs at Boston Pizza, powered by Fanalytics.
At Boston's, we make crowd pleasers. Like this.
Yes. Woo!
And these.
So good!
And definitely this.
I love you! Woo!
Stop by or book your catering order online and we'll make you a fan.
Welcome back to Kindred. Kindred Vikings baseball. After 1 inning complete, the Jacks lead it 4-0 over the Vikings. The Jacks did bat around in the first inning, so they'll go back to the top of the order here in the top of the second. Cam Liebel, he's 0 for 1. He flew out to right field on the first pitch of the game. He was out number 1, and then the next 3 batters proceeded to score runs. And Tate Miller starts him off with what looks like a fastball down and away. Ball one. Ball one. And the pitch. Fastball outside again, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. And the pitch. Fastball in the dirt, 3-0. Miller was shooting strikes, although he did have one walk in the first inning, but the Jacks were very aggressive early on in the count. 3-0 pitch. Liebel taking all the way, and that's over for strike one. After Miller threw 28 pitches in the first inning, Ide came out and threw 7. And the pitch, full count, over for strike two. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Miller trying to work back from a 3-0 count. And the pitch. Liner out to second base. Traum has it, over to Andel, in time, and 1 away. Nice play by Andy Traum. He throws over to first base and Carson Andel, and it's a 4-3 put up. Ethan Dudek, the batter, he singled in the first inning, eventually came around to score. He takes ball one. One down, 4-0 lead. And the pitch, fastball, fouled back out of play. 1-1 the count. Dudek wears double zeros. And the pitch. Looked like an off-speed curveball of some sort, fouled off. 1-2 the count. And Miller looks on. And here's a pitch. Swing and a miss, but it gets past the catcher Hoyme and sticks to the backstop. Hoyme rifles it down to first, but not in time. So Dudek is going to reach on the strikeout swinging. And they're going to call that a wild pitch and not a pass ball. So Dudek reaches first base on the strikeout. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Trey Hatfield. He's number 31. So runner on. And Miller finally makes his move over to first base. A little tougher to steal off the left-handed pitcher because they can pause a little bit with their right leg and still throw over to first base or come home with it. Makes it a little bit more difficult to steal off the lefties. Fastball's in the dirt. And Dudek is going to reach safely at second base on the wild pitch. Ball one. Trey Hatfield in the first inning singled and later came around to score. So he's 1 for 1 with a run scored. And Miller looks on. Rocks and fires. Swinging a high pop fly down the right field line. And it's going to drift foul and out of play. Nick Dahl gave chase, and it's in our blind spot here with our cameras. But I can see down the line a little bit. But it drifted out of play. You'll just have to trust us on that one. Nick Dahl did give chase, but could not get there. It was a very long run. No chance for Dahl to get there. That evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. And Miller, another fly ball out to right field. In comes Dahl. He does make this catch and gets it into the infield. And there's 2 outs. Fly out to right. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Mason Hermstead. He's a catcher. 2 down, runner on second base. Fortunately, Miller struck out the runner on second base, but he reached on that wild pitch. And here's a pitch. Swinging a foul tapper at home plate. Goes back to the screen, and it's no balls, 1 strike. Miller looks on. Trying to get some outs. Get out of this inning. Get his team back in the dugout, take some swings, get some runs on the board. Looked like an off-speed pitch, goes behind the hitter, Hermstead, and it's 1-1. Miller up to 43 pitches. The top of the second inning. And here's a pitch, off speed, up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. And here's a pitch, swinging a ground ball towards the hole. Dahl fields it, long throw, not in time, and he's coming home. And Andel didn't realize it quite in time. And the runner, Dudek, is going to score all the way from second on the infield single. Lucas Dahl backhanded that, did throw over to first base, but just not in time. I'm sorry, that's a shortstop, Carson Krebsbach. Did field the ball, but he could not make the throw in time to get the out. And Hermstead will get credited with the base hit and a run batted in on the play. First pitch to John Ashe, the center fielder, is a ball. So Hermstead's on first base. Run scored makes it 5-0 in favor of the Jacks. Swing and a miss by Ashe. Evens up the count at 1-1. And here's a pitch, foul tip into the glove of Hoyme, and it's a one ball, 2 strike count. 2 outs. Miller up to 48 pitches now. And he looks on, checks the runner at first, throws in a line drive up the middle, off the glove of Traum, and into center field. And the runner's going to be held up at third, so runners on first and third. And that'll be ruled an error on Traum. The 4th error for the Vikings. Was hit hard, line drive. But I think if you talk to Andy Traum, he'll tell you that he should have had that ball. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Jake Ring, number 11 for the Jacks. Miller trying to minimize the damage. Jacks trying to maximize the damage. Swing and a miss, way behind for Jake Ring. 0-1 the count. Runners on first and third. And here's a pitch. Swinging a high pop fly down the right field line. That's going to drift way out of play. Nick Dahl did give chase again. It landed down by the bullpens down the right field line. Very long run for Nick Dahl. Count rolls along at 0-2. Nate Miller looks on. Tate Miller, I should say. And the pitch. Off-speed pitch is over for strike 3, and that should end the inning. The runner was stealing on the play. The throw goes into center field, but the umpire called strike 3. So the Jacks pick up one more run. There was one additional hit. They did leave 2 runners on base. And at the end of 1.5 innings, the Jacks lead at 5-0 over the Vikings. And we'll take a short break. You're listening and watching Vikings
Cheyenne Septic Service is your go-to for residential and commercial pumping of your septic and holding tanks. Plus, they provide pre-sale real estate pumping and inspections. Don't buy a new home or sell your current home without it. Cheyenne Septic Service is always on call 24/7 for any emergency services that may be required at your home or business. Call 701-317-2756. That's 701-317-2756. Cheyenne Septic Service.
Why do I choose to work here? It's the people. It's the feeling that you get when you've been gone for a weekend and everybody's genuinely happy to see you and you're so happy to see them too.
They are wonderful. The staff is wonderful. They are so friendly. They're so happy all the time.
It's a family It's just that overall culture that we have. It's a great culture, and I'm very lucky to be a part of it.
Your full life happens here at Touchmark.
And welcome back. Kindred Baseball on Magnitude Sports. This is a Kindred half inning of baseball presented by Popeyes. The Kindred Express Lane scoreboard shows the Jacks lead at 5-0. The Jacks have 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and we're heading into the bottom of the second inning. And the Vikings went 1-2-3 in the first inning. They got no runs, no hits, and they've committed 4 errors out in the field. The pitcher, Bjorn Eid, only threw 7 pitches in the first inning. Very efficient. And now batting will be Tate Miller. He's the pitcher, cleanup hitter. Takes ball 1 inside. Miller looking to get things started. Get their first base runner. Miller obviously a left-handed hitter. Looks on as Eid rocks and fires. Fastball, high pop fly into foul territory. Third baseman Hatfield has it measured and makes a catch. So a foul pop-up by Miller, and there's 1 away. Very frustrating as a hitter to hit the foul pop-up. You're hoping it gets over the fence and out of play, but of course Hatfield came down the line and made the play. And that'll bring up the third baseman, number 12, Grant Spellhog. Check swing, but the pitch is down and away. He did not go. 1-0 the count. Spellhog, big right-handed hitter, playing third base today. He looks on, looks at the pitch from Eid. Fastball over for strike 1. Grant Harding again behind home plate, calling balls and strikes as the umpire. Andy Pugliano out on the base paths. And here's a pitch. Fastball line deep down to left field line. Actually over the left fielder's head, and that's going to go for extra bases. Spellhog rounds first base and trots into second base. He's got himself the first hit for the Vikings. It's a line drive double over the left fielder's head. Spellhog hit that ball very hard, rolled all the way to the fence out there. The Vikings have their first hit. And the first runner in scoring position. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Jack McDonald. Jack, a very quick base runner. Third baseman is playing in. Maybe looking for a bunt or something from McDonald. Shortstop's playing back. So if Jack can get a ground ball out to shortstop, he's got a very good chance of beating it out with his great speed. And here's a pitch from Eid. It's up high. 2 balls, no strikes. Runner in scoring position for the Vikings. And Eid pitching out of the stretch, throws a fastball up and in, misses. 3 balls, no strikes. Donald playing center field in this ball game. Had a great season in Babe Ruth last year. And he takes ball 4. 4-pitch walk for Eid. Pitching out of the stretch for the first time. As he set down the first 4 batters he faced. With the runners on first and second, that'll bring up the big first baseman, number 16, Carson Andel. Carson Andel waving a, looks like an orange bat to me. Fastball over for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Carson's dad, David Andel, Was a baseball coach in Breckenridge. And here's a pitch. Fastball. Looked like down and away, possibly. 1-1 the count. And here's a pitch. Swinging a high pop fly. Shallow center field. Center fielder's got it measured. He makes the play. That's Ashe out in center field. And very quickly, there's 2 outs. So now the Vikings are in need of a big 2-out base hit. As Andel flies out to center field. 2 down. Runners on first and second. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Andy Traum. He wears number 10. Pickoff attempt to Spellhog out at second base, but nowhere near in time. Fastball up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Traum, the second baseman, watches this one go down and away. 2 balls, no strikes. A little better for the pitch count for the Vikings. They've got Ide at 14 pitches this inning. He only threw 7 in the first. And here's a pitch. Swing and a miss by Traum. 2-1 the count. And Ide, number 10, rocks and fires. Fastball, blooped out into center field. And oh, what a nice catch by Dudek, the shortstop. Obviously, the Vikings hoping that one would drop in there. And for the Vikings, in the bottom of the second, they come up with no runs. There was 1 Vikings hit. They do leave 2 runners on base. So 2 runners left on. At the end of 2 complete, the Oak Grove Jacks lead it 5-0 over the Kindred Vikings. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball.
Why do I choose to work here? It's the people. It's the feeling that you get when you've been gone for a weekend and everybody's genuinely happy to see you and you're so happy to see them too.
They are wonderful. The staff is wonderful. They are so friendly. They're so happy all the time.
It's a family. It's just that overall culture that we have. It's a great culture and I'm very lucky to be a part of it.
Your full life happens here at...
And welcome back to Kindred. Kindred Express Lane scoreboard shows the Oak Grove Jacks on top, 5-0. And Tate Miller will rock and fire. And Ide, the pitcher, hits one deep to left center field. And Lucas Dahl, the left fielder, runs it down. There's 1 away on 1 pitch. Lucas Dahl with a beautiful catch out in left center field. Lucas Dahl, the left fielder. 1 pitch, 1 out. Bjorn Ide was the batter. Now batting will be Dakota Olson. He's a designated hitter. He walked in the first inning. Takes strike one. And the pitch. Ball low. 1-1 the count. And Miller kicks and fires. Fastball. Pounded up the middle. Traum with a backhand. Throws on over to first base in time. Andel makes a play over at first base, and there's quickly 2 down. Nice play by Traum. It's good to get that one out of the way after the error in the first inning on that line drive. 4-3 the put out. 2 down. Brings up Beck Alvin. He's a left fielder. Struck out looking in the first. Tate Miller pitching out of the windup. Rocks and fires. Fastball lined into short center field. Jack McDonald's there. He makes a catch. And very quickly, the Jacks go down 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base for the Jacks in the top of the third. And we'll head to the bottom of the third inning. The Vikings coming up. You're listening and watching.
Santana Concrete LLC in Barnesville comes highly recommended from their customers. But don't take our word for it, take theirs. Dan states that the team is
polite, friendly, and efficient.
Lee tells us that
quality work for a fair price is hard to find.
Here's Mike from Post 400 Baseball.
Santana Concrete did a wonderful job laying the concrete foundation for our new press box.
And Jasmine shares
they do amazing work.
Check them out by searching Santana Concrete LLC on Facebook or call 218-790-65.
Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors has been your local Kindred area realtor for over 10 years. She'll help you find the home you're really looking for. Growing up in Gary, Minnesota, and graduating from NDSU, Jamie has made her home in Kindred, proudly cheering on the home team in blue. Buying or selling? Make that call to Jamie R. Swenson at 701-799-1779 or visit connectwithjamie.com to browse new listings and listen to the Realtor Moms podcast. Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors supports the Kindred players of today and hometown rookies of tomorrow.
Back. Watching Vikings baseball and Magnitude Sports. Vikings coming up, bottom of the third inning, down by 5. And the big right-handed pitcher, kicks and fires. Fastball is away, ball 1. Lucas Dahl, the batter, he's a left fielder, made that beautiful catch in the top of the third inning to get that first out off the bat of Bjorn Ide, the pitcher. And Ide kicks and fires a fastball over for strike 1. Evens up the count at 1-1. Again, the Jacks lead at 5-0. Vikings made 3 errors in the first inning and 1 later on in the second. And the pitch by Ide is down low and in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fix my camera here so you can actually see what's going on here. All right. There we go. Ide. Rocks and fires. Fastball, pop foul over the press box. Not a play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oakley Dubord, the head coach for the Legion B team. Coaching the bases over at third base. Connor Rowland coaching over at first base. And the pitch from Ide. Fastball up high. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Lucas Dahl, getting his first at-bat of the night. Here in the bottom of the third. Ide pitching from the windup. Rocks, fires, fastball, check swing, called strike. It doesn't matter if he swung or not. Called strike 3, and there's 1 away. By my count anyway, that's a first strikeout for Ide. Vikings have been putting the ball in play. It's a first strikeout. We go back to the top of the order, and Nick Dahl, the right fielder, he grounded out to second in the first inning. And here's a pitch, fastball, swing and a miss, strike one. Eyed up to 30 pitches now. Through 3 innings, Tate Miller has 57 for the Vikings. Nick Dahl, left-handed hitter. Here's a pitch from Dahl, down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ide looks on. And here's a pitch. Ball's up high, 2-1 the count. Thanks Magnitude Sports for bringing you Kindred Vikings baseball against the Oak Grove Jacks. And here's a pitch way up high to the backstop. I'd like to thank my wife Wendy for helping us out today. She watched a couple of tutorials on how to run all of the equipment here at Kindred Varsity Field, so we're getting through it. Everything's going fairly smooth for our first time. So we're trying to make it work for you. Here's a pitch, fastball up and away, and Nick Dahl draws himself a walk. The Vikings get themselves a base runner. 1 out, 1 runner on, brings up the catcher, Owen Hoyme. Dewboard goes through a set of signs over at third. Vikings trying to get something going against a tough right-hander in Ide. Bjorn Ide. And here's a pitch. Fastball way up. Ball 1. Only the third base runner allowed by Ide. A double by Spellhog and a walk by Jack McDonald. And now another walk by Nick Dahl. Account for the base runners. Line drive over the third baseman's head. That'll go as a base hit. Hard knock for Owen Hoyme.
Hard liner to left for Hoyme. Dahl's up to second. Brings up number 17, shortstop, Carson.
That ball was smashed by Hoyme. Puts runners on first and second with 1 out.
I'm going here. Come on now.
That'll bring up the shortstop, Carson Krebsbach. He wears number 17. He grounded out to short his first time up. Pitches a ball. 1-0 the count. And Ide checks a runner at second. Fastball, swing and a miss by Krebsbach. 1-1 the count. And Ide looks on. Throws another fastball, swing and a miss again by Krebsbach. Couple of fastballs. Get by the shortstop. 1-2 the count. And here's the pitch. Fastball way up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tate Miller's on deck. And here's a pitch from Ide. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Got him with a slow curveball. Krebsbach way out in front of it. At the second strikeout of the inning, second strikeout of the game for Ide. And there's 2 down. Runner still on first and second. Brings up the pitcher, Tate Miller. Cleanup hitter. He popped foul in his first at-bat. Back in the second inning, he takes ball 1 up and away. So he's 0 for 1. Spellhog on deck. Spellhog had that big double to left. So Miller trying to help the cause here a little bit. Get himself a base hit and score that run from second. Fastball called strike 1. Beautiful night in Kindred, North Dakota. visiting Oak Grove Jacks taking on the Kindred Vikings. And here's a pitch. Fastball fouled back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hyde pitching out of the stretch. Hoyme on first. Nick Dahl on second base. And the 1-2. Swinging a chopper at the plate, and that goes off the foot of Tate Miller, so that's a foul ball. Umpire's doing a good job right away of calling that a foul ball. Pitch count up to 45 pitches now for Ide after he threw 7 in the first inning. And Ide looks on. Gets a sign from his catcher, Hermstead. And the pitch. Fastball, line drive into right field. Past the second baseman into right field. Nick Dahl being waved home. He'll come around to score. And Hoyme makes it all the way to third. A line drive single off the bat of Tate Miller. Scores the first run for the Vikings. Makes it a 5-1 ball game in favor of the Jacks. But a big hit for Tate Miller. Very hard hit baseball. Line drive out to right field. And we're going to have a courtesy runner. Dylan Stone, number 9. He'll be the courtesy runner for the pitcher, Tate Miller. Nick Dahl scores. Owen Hoyme all the way to third base. RBI single for Tate Miller. Brings up Grant Spellhog, who had that big booming double to left field in the second inning. Spellhog looking to do some damage here. Try to put a crooked number up on the scoreboard. Ide looks on. And here's the pitch. Fastball in the dirt. Nice stop by Hermstead. Throw down to first base is not in time. Stone gets back in plenty of time. Stone's got some speed over at first base. He could run a bit. Likely looking at finding his way into second base. Or maybe the better option is to look at Spellhog just driving in the runs here. And here's a pitch by Ide. Take strike. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Spellhog had that 1-out double, but was stranded at second base. And here's a pitch from Ide. Fastball again. Called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, well, there's a bird out on the third baseline living in kind of a precarious lifestyle. Now he flies away. He didn't like that fastball from Ide. And it misses. Now it landed in the dugout. Now it's sitting over on the bench. Now the players are going over there wondering what's going on. What kind of bird do we got over there? Little baby bird. He's trying to help him out. Oak Grove player trying to help the dude out. Spellhog with the ball up high. Not sure what player that is. Oh, now we put him out on the fence. Now the bird is safe, I think. As Spellhog draws a walk. Sorry, up here in the press box, everybody got a little bit interested in that bird. But Spellhog drew a walk. Stone will go down to second base. Yeah, messed up my scoreboard here. Got a little confused there, or messed up my score sheet, I should say. Spellhog draws a walk. He makes it over to first base. Pinch runner, Dylan Stone, or courtesy runner. Dylan Stone now at second base, and Owen Hoyme over at third base. The bases are loaded. Jack McDonald. Jack McDonald would be the hitter. He walked in the second inning and was stranded at first base. Has a chance to do some damage here as Coach Andy Petrick did come out and talk to his pitcher and talk to his players about what they're going to do here, try to work themselves out of this inning. And eyed the pitch. Called strike one. And Ide looks on. Pitches out of the windup. Out of the stretch. And the pitch. Fastball in the dirt. Nice stop by Hermstead, the catcher. Prevented a run from scoring. Hermstead just kind of backhanded that one. Sorry, I lost the update on the baby bird that flew over into the Jacks dugout, but he's safe in the trees. The report is the bird is safe in the trees. It's a good thing. He was on the white chalk on the third base line when Spellhog was batting, about 15 feet down the line. Pitches a fastball up. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jack McDonald, the hitter. Very good hitter, very fleet of foot. He can do some damage right here. Get the Vikings right back into this ball game. And the pitch from Ide. Fastball outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ide up to 56 pitches now. His next pitch will match the total of Tate Miller's 57. And remember, Ide threw only 7 pitches in the first inning. And the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss by McDonald. So now everybody's running. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We got ourselves a full count. There's 2 outs. So the runners got to be careful, but they're going to be on the run on the pitch. And there they go. Fastball way up high. And Jack McDonald gets himself an easy RBI. He walks with the bases loaded. Cuts the lead down to 5-2 in favor of the Jacks. Owen Hoyme comes across to score. That will bring up the first baseman, Big Carson Andel. Andel has some power. Flew out to center field in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. And here's a pitch. Fastball in the dirt. Again, a nice stop by Hermstead. Beautiful backhand. Dylan Stone, courtesy running over at third base. Spellhog's out at second. Jack McDonald, who just walked, is at first base. And the pitch. Fastball over for strike 1. Big Carson Andel, big right-handed hitter. Where's number 16? Takes up high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Andel has some pop in his bat. And the pitch outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ide up to 62 pitches now. And here's the pitch. Fastball hit high in the air to left field. And the center fielder breaks over and makes a catch. The center fielder, John Ashe, runs over and makes a catch, and it'll be a fly out again for Andel to the center fielder, and that ends the inning. However, the Vikings do come up with 2 runs. I have 2 hits and 3 runners left on base for the Vikings in the bottom of the 3rd innings. After 3 innings complete, the Jacks have 5, and the Vikings have 2. We're heading to the top of the 4th. You're watching Vikings Baseball on Altitude Sports.
Bar 9, the place to catch the big game with our 22 65-inch 4K HD TVs and all of the sports packages. Check out our brand new menu featuring our signature burgers, pizzas, and appetizers. We keep busy hosting social events from our Make a Difference Mondays, donating to local charities, professional comedy acts, live acoustical music, and our Ladies Night with free designer handbag giveaways. We almost forgot to mention we have a brand new patio and 24 taps featuring the area's best selections of local and national breweries. There's always a reason to be at Bar 9, located in the Pioneer Center off 9th Street and 13th Avenue in West Fargo.
Kindred Express Lane is a friendly, locally owned convenience store open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and offers hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Kindred Express Lane is located at 220 First Avenue South across the street from the baseball and football fields, just 3 inches away from Highway 15 in Kindred. While you're fueling up, be sure and grab a snack and a cold beverage for the road. Kindred Express Lane wishes the Kindred Post 117 Vikings the best of luck. Go Vikings!
Doolittle's Wood-Fired Grill is an experience that ignites your senses, featuring wood-fired rotisserie cooking. Grilling meat over an open flame creates that savory wood-roasted flavor, while the rotisserie rotation results in juicy and succulent meats. Doolittle's even has an outdoor fire pit that creates a relaxing setting to wine and dine for any occasion. Visit doolittlesrestaurants.com for a full menu or to make a reservation. Doolittle's Wood-Fired Grill, 21.
All right, we're back. We just missed one pitch. Dave Miller threw a strike to the leadoff hitter here. Sorry about that. Trying to run the camera and talk at the same time and keep my scorebook. Not multitasking very well tonight. Tate Miller kicks the 1-1 pitch over. Outside, ball 2. This is a leadoff hitter, by the way, Cam Liebel. He's a first baseman. He's 0 for 2. He flew out to right field in the first, grounded out to second in the second inning. 2-1 the count. Tate Miller with a slow breaking ball, misses down and away. 3-1 the count. The Jacks lead it 5-2. And the pitch is in the dirt, about a 55-footer. Bounces in front of the plate, and Liebel will be on with a walk. Only the second walk for Miller that I count. He does have a pair of strikeouts. Here's a high pop fly. Gets over the right fielder of Nick Dahl's head, and he throws it in, and he's being waved around. Here comes a throw from Andel to the plate. In time at the plate. What a relay. Nick Dahl had the ball go over his head, got it in. Carson Andel with a perfect relay at first base, throws him out at the plate, and we have ourselves our first out of the inning. Cam Liebel is out at the plate on a 9-3-2 putout. And there's one out. I believe they'll give Dudek a double. And Miller's first pitch to the batter, Trey Hatfield, the third baseman, is a strike. So Dudek rips a double to right field as Hatfield takes ball 1. He reaches third base on the throw. And the runner, Liebel, who had walked, is out at the plate, 9-3-2. It's the official scoring on that. 1 away. Foul back to the screen for Hatfield. 1-2 the count. There's a line drive up the middle, base hit. The Vikings had the infield in, trying to choke off the run at the plate, and nobody's covering second. Throw down to second base is safe. Trom can't believe it. Trom can't believe it. Looked like he made the tag to me as well, but the only opinion that matters is the umpire's. And so he's ruled safe. The umpire called him safe, so he is safe. That's how it works. It's an RBI single up the middle for Hatfield. Scores Dudek, and it makes it 6-2 in favor of the Jacks. Here's a pitch, ball 1. RBI single for Hatfield. He reaches second base. There was nobody covering the base, and Hatfield picked up on that and ran in. Trom went to cover, got the relay throw, attempted to lay the tag. And here's a 1-0 pitch. There's a ground ball over to Spellhag at third. Nice play. Now he's got him hung up a little bit here, and we got ourselves a pickle. And he throws it down to third, and he's safe again. They had him in a pickle. Not your textbook way to do that, but they're trying to run him down at third base, and he slid underneath the tag.
Reaches on fielder's choice. Hatfield ends up safe at third.
So Hatfield safe at third. Hermstead reaches first base on the fielder's choice. Runners at first and third. One run across. One out. Hoyme going through a set of signs behind the dish as the center fielder John Ashe steps to the plate. Spellhog tried to get that lead runner. He made the right call, tried to get that runner, but then they got into a rundown. And he made himself safe over at third base, slid underneath that tag. Great positioning by the umpire out on the bases. Again, that's Andy Pugliano. Great positioning out there, made the call. Home plate umpire also ran down the line, made that call over at third base. That's Grant Harding. So the umpiring crew working together as Ashe fouls it back out of play. Count rolls along at 1 ball and 1 strike. Miller up to 71 pitches. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Jacks. 2 runs, 3 hits, 4 errors for the Vikings. And the pitch by Miller. Fastball, swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. To number 20, center fielder John Ashe. And Miller kicks and fires. Slower breaking ball misses outside. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's Hermstead over at first base. Hatfield's over at third. And the pitch. Off-speed pitch, down and in. Fills the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ashe looking to do some more damage for the Jacks. He hits a grounder out to second base. Traum has it measured on the tough bounce and drops the baseball. And Hermstead is safe at second base. Hatfield does come across to score. That's going to be ruled E4 on Traum. I believe Ashe will get credit for a run batted in, as the run would have scored anyway. And the Jacks take themselves a 7-2 lead. Here's a pitch by Miller. It's a swing and a miss to Jake Ring, the second baseman. So runners on first and second. There's a ground ball to Traum, and he tried to force it himself at second base, but dropped the ball along the way. And he'll be credited with an error on the play. Credit John Ashe with an RBI as he reaches first base on the fielder's choice and the error. And Jake Ring swings and misses again, and he's down to the count 0-2. Here's a pitch, off speed, down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 7-2 lead for the Jacks. 5 errors for the Vikings. And Miller looks back, rocks and fires. Off speed pitch, down and away again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jake Ring singled in the first inning, struck out in the second. Foul ball at the plate. Jake Ring did score a run in the first inning after singling. Two balls and 2 strikes. Miller trying to work his way out of this one. Fastball up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 81 pitches now for Miller. Miller checks the runner at second. That's Hermstead. And the pitch. Check swing. Appeal out to second base. The plate umpire, he did not swing. And Jake Ring draws himself a walk. That loads him up. Bases are loaded. Brings up Bjornide, the pitcher. reached on an error in the first inning, did steal second base, and he flew out in the third inning. He was stranded on second base in the first inning. So he's 0 for 2 officially. Bases are loaded. There's still only one out. 2 runs across this inning. In big, Bjorn Eid steps to the plate. Miller looks on, kicks and fires a fastball over strike one. Carson Andel playing in at first base, along with Spellhog over at third, playing for a double play up the middle, and there's a high fly ball to center field. This should score the run. McDonald with the catch, and he throws all the way through to home, but the runners do not advance. He kept that throw low enough so the runners could not advance. So it's a sacrifice fly to center field, an RBI. Second out of the inning is recorded. Mason Hermstead, the catcher, scores and makes it 8-2 in favor of the Jacks. That'll bring up the designated hitter Dakota Olson for the Jacks. Swing and a ground ball out to short. Long throw over to first. In time for the out. Dakota Olson grounds out to end the inning. However, the Jacks do come up with 3 runs. Let's see how many hits they got. They got themselves 2 hits, and there was 2 runners left on base. At the end of 3.5 innings, we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Vikings are coming up and they find themselves down by 4-8. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball.
Sweet Shots is Fargo's premier golf entertainment destination. Sweet Shots will host your birthday, bachelorette party, corporate events, date nights, or a night out with friends and family. Need help with your golf game? Visit with one of Sweet Shots' PGA teaching pros. Hungry? They have a full food and beverage menu too. Try your shot in one of 60 climate control hitting suites or one of 5 indoor full swing simulators that include golf, hockey, hunting, football, soccer, and zombie dodgeball. Make the trip to 3400 James Way South in Fargo or visit sweetshots.com for much more. MLGC's story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a 4th-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
And we're back. Hyde facing Andy Trom, the second baseman, started him off with a strike. And the big right-hander kicks and fires to Andy Trom. Pitches away, ball 1. Vikings find themselves down 8-2 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Andy Trom, the batter, lined out to shortstop his first time up. Almost snuck over the shortstop Dudek's head to score himself a run. But Dudek made a nice running grab to prevent that RBI single from Trom. So Trom's 0 for 1. Has himself a 2-1 count, and the pitch from Hyde. Fastball down low. 3 balls, 1 strike. Full press box up here tonight. Paul Quislin on the PA. Eric and Alex Iverson running the running the music, balls and strikes up on the scoreboard. And Trom takes a fastball in the dirt, draws himself a walk. The ball goes back to the screen, but not enough to advance to second base. Trom gets on base. He's got some speed. Brings up the left fielder, Lucas Dahl. Dahl in the third inning struck out looking. He's 0 for 1. And the pitch from Ide, actually a throw over to first base. Looked like Trom was back in plenty of time. And here's a pitch from Ide. Ball up. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Kindred Vikings baseball and Magnitude Sports. Thank you to our sponsors. Swing and a miss by Lucas Dahl. This broadcast is powered by MLGC. Very much appreciated. And the pitch. Called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Vikings trying to get something going, down by a score of 8-2. They do have 3 hits. Those 5 costly errors. Swing and a miss by Dahl. He goes down on strikes. And there's 1 away. That'll bring us back to the top of the order with Nick Dahl. He's a right fielder. Nick grounded out in the first inning and walked in the third inning and came around to score the first Vikings run. He scored on Nate Miller's RBI single. Tate Miller, I keep saying Nate, I don't know why. I know the man's name is Tate. Swing and a miss by Nick Dahl. Strike 1. Ball up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ide up to 74 pitches. Tate Miller has 85. He's pitched 4 complete. And here's a set by Ide. And the pitch, swing and a miss by Nick Dahl. Nick Dahl, sports number 25. Very good contact hitter, left-handed hitter. Looking to get things going for the Vikings. And the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in a row for Ide. Brings up the catcher, Owen Hoyme. He flew out to center field in the first inning and lined a very solid base hit right over the third baseman's head, and he later came around to score on the walk by Jack McDonald back in the third inning. 2 down, runner on first in Andy Trom. And the pitch to Hoyme is up and away, or up and in. Ball 1. Hoyme 1 for 2. Looking to get things started with 2 outs. And here's a pitch from Ide, way upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. And here's a pitch from Ide in the dirt. Once again, a nice backhand stop by the catcher, Mason Hermstead, for the Jacks. And here's a pitch from Ide. Down low and in the dirt, another backhand stop by Hermstead. But Hoyme draws himself a walk, and that'll get Trom down to second base. Puts runners on first and second, and that'll bring up the shortstop, number 17, Carson Krebsbach. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded out to short in the first inning and struck out looking back in the third. Looking to get things going. Hitting in the 3-hole. And here's a pitch, down and away, ball 1. Krebsbach is a shortstop, sports number 17. Ide broke 80 pitches. He's at 81 so far. And here's a pitch. Fastball. Missed outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Pitching out of the stretch. Runner's not getting a very big lead. Here's a fastball. Line drive up the middle. Base hit into center field. And he's being held up. The ball was a rocket out to center field by Krebsbach. It actually hit second base and bounced into center field John Ashey's glove. And so really no chance for Andy Traum to score on that. That ball was a rocket out to center field. So another hit for the Vikings loads them up. Beautiful hit by Krebsbach, loads up the bases and brings up the cleanup hitter and the pitcher, Tate Miller. Bases loaded. Vikings have a great chance to score some runs here. Need a big 2-out rally. Big 2-out knock for the pitcher, Tate Miller, would do wonders here. 1-0 count and the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss by Tate. Both pitchers now with 85 pitches. So Ide is actually going to exceed that. This will be his 86th pitch. Swing and a miss by Tate Miller. Posing pitches here. Again, remember, Ide threw only 7 pitches in the first inning, but has had to labor a bit, but the Vikings haven't taken advantage and looking to put up another crooked number here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the 1-2 pitch by Ide. Big pitch. Fastball. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Ide. Ends the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs for the Vikings in the bottom of the 4th. There was 1 base hit, 3 runners left on base. And at the end of 4 complete innings, we head to the top of the 5th inning. And the Oak Grove Jacks lead by a score of 8-2. You're watching Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
For your remodeling and service needs on residential or commercial water heaters, sewers, drain cleaning, floor heating, and more, contact DJ's Plumbing and Heating in Castleton. The team at DJ's Plumbing and Heating has over 43 years of experience and is an officially licensed master plumber. DJ's Plumbing and Heating. Give them a call today at 701-347-5253 or visit them in person at 1002 Front Street in Castleton.
Family owned and operated for many years, MTW Towing is your first call for all of your towing needs in the West Fargo, North Dakota area. We are a full-service towing company that offers fast and efficient service at affordable rates. Our professional team is always prepared to provide you the best service possible. We also accept student discounts. To learn more about us, please feel free to give us a call today at your convenience.
Welcome back to Kindred, North Dakota. Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports. We'd like to thank our sponsors one more time. Kindred Express Lane scoreboard shows the Oak Grove Jacks on top of the Vikings by a score of 8-2. I'd like to thank Tommy's Express Car Wash. MLGC, this broadcast brought to you and powered by MLGC. Our starting lineups were sponsored by Runnings, and the Kindred half innings are sponsored by Popeyes. Appreciate the sponsorship. Beck Alvin leads off for the Oak Grove Jacks. Swing and a miss. Beck Alvin is a 9th hitter in the lineup. He's a left fielder. He's 0 for 2. He struck out looking in the first inning and flew out to center in the 3rd. Swinging a line drive out to shortstop. Krebsbach is there, and there's 1 away. Line drive out to the shortstop, Krebsbach, by Beck Alvin. And there's one away. Tate Miller on the mound for the Vikings. Now has 87 pitches. Kicks and fires. Ball low and away to Cam Liebel. He's a leadoff hitter. Plays at first base. He is 0 for 2. Ball inside. He flew out to right in the first, grounded out to second in the second inning, and then walked in the fourth, and then was out at the plate on a double by Dudek. And he was out at the plate on a relay from Nick Dahl out right to first baseman Carson Andel to the catcher Owen Hoyme for a beautiful put out at the plate. Here's a 2-1 pitch from Tate Miller. Ball in the dirt, 3-1. And the pitch down in the dirt. Liebel draws a walk for the second time this evening. Double zero, shortstop Ethan Dudek. He singled in the first. Reached on a strikeout in the second inning. Later came around to score, and he doubled in the fourth inning. So he's 2 for 3, but he scored 3 runs. Here's a pitch in the dirt to Dudek. Ball 1. That'll be ruled a wild pitch. Liebel moves up to second base. 1 down, 1 ball, no strikes on the hitter, Ethan Dudek. Beautiful evening in Kindred. Fastball inside to Dudek. Brings the count to 2 balls, no strikes. Miller gives a glance out to second base, and here's a chopper out to shortstop. Tough play. Krebsbach fields it. Long throw over to first, not in time. And that'll go as an infield single for Dudek. Tough ball in the hole. Krebsbach trying to hold the runner on second base. Chopped out to where he would normally be playing. Backhands it. Bobbled it for a slight second and made the throw over to first base, but I think that'll go down as a hit for Dudek. Nobody really made an error on that play. Liebel does hold at second base because the ball was in front of him. So an infield single for Dudek. That's their 8th hit of the evening. Connor Rowland out to take a trip to the mound, and we're going to have ourselves a pitching change. Tate Miller threw 95 pitches. He comes out of the ball game. Looks like Grant Spellhog is going to come in to pitch. And we'll have ourselves a pitching change. We'll take a break, and we'll be back after this.
There's no question that yield is at the core of everything we do at Stein. It's why we are here today, and it's what will continue to propel us and our growers into the future of agriculture. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans provide a significant dollar per acre yield benefit, plus access to the best weed control in the industry. That is yield plus results. Yield expected, yield delivered. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans have yield.
Kindred Storage provides secure and affordable storage 24 hours a day. The units at Kindred Storage are new construction, isolated from water and snow, and are maintained year-round. The area is also well lit to ensure safe and easy access to your possessions day or night. Call 701-428-3121 for availability, unit pricing, and more information. Kindred Storage. You can find them online at kindredstorage.com. You can also find them on the north side of the airport in the city of Kindred.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
And we're back. What happened there is we had a pitching change. Grant Spellhog came in to pitch. Looks like Dylan Stone's out at shortstop. Trom stays at second base. And there was a ground ball out to Dylan Stone, and there was another throwing error. That scored a run for Liebel for the Jacks. He comes across the score and makes the score 9-2 in favor of the Jacks. And Dudek made it all the way over to third base. So Hatfield reaches on the error. Error 6, E6. No RBI. There's a line drive. Wade on the left field line is going to drift foul. That's off the bat of the catcher, Mason Hermstead. Hermstead singled in the first, singled in the second, reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth. He scored a run in the first and fourth inning. So he's 2 for 3. 2 runs scored, run batted in. 2 runs batted in, I should say. Bats with runners on first and third with 1 out. Tate Miller went 4 1/3 innings, gave up 8 hits. Gave up, Liebel's run is charged to him, so he gave up 9 runs. As a runner steals second base, Hatfield is safe at second on the stolen base. Tate Miller is still responsible for the runner on third in Ethan Dudek. Grant Spellhog, the new pitcher, was playing third base. And he rocks and fires. Fastball chopped at the plate. And the umpire rules it foul. 0-2 the count. Krebsbach moves from shortstop over to third base, and Dylan Stone comes in for Tate Miller, and he takes over at shortstop. Grant Spellhog, the new pitcher, ball up and away. Grant Spellhog, right-handed pitcher, pitching out of the stretch, throws a fastball, chopped at the plate. That's going to be a fair ball. Hoyme picks it up and throws him out at first base. That does score a run. That does score a run. That run will be charged again to Tate Miller. Hatfield makes it over to third base. So Mason Hermstead is out on the nice play by the catcher. Catcher Hoyme, Owen Hoyme. 2-3 put out. That's the second out. Run batted in for Hermstead. And Hatfield's over at third base. And here's a pitch. Ball outside. This is the center fielder, John Ashe. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. 10-2 lead in favor of the Jacks. And the pitch. Fastball in. 2-0. And here's a pitch. That ball's in the dirt. Three balls and no strikes to the right-handed hitter, Ashe. Spellhog kicks and fires. Down in the dirt. Ball 4. So walk drawn by Ashe. Puts runners on first and third. And brings to the plate the second baseman, Jake Ring. Ring singled in the first, scored a run, struck out Lookett in the second, and drew a walk in the fourth inning and was stranded at first base. He bats with the runners on first and third. Fourth batter faced by Spellhog. And the pitch, fastball in the dirt. Runner thought about taking off for second base. Ball 1 to Jake Ring. And the pitch, fastball's up. They keep thinking the runner's taking off from first base, but he keeps coming back. 2 balls and no strikes. To Jake Ring, standing way up in the batter's box. Pops this one up in the infield. And Andy Trom calls for it, rightly so, and makes the catch and puts it away. But not before the Jacks do a little bit of damage. They score themselves 2 runs. There was one hit that inning for the Jacks, and there were 2 runners left on base. At the end of 4.5 innings, the Jacks lead it over the Kindred Vikings by a score of 10-2. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Hey, it's Mike with Magnitude Sports. Check out this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. It's owned and operated by a family in Bismarck, North Dakota that I've known for over 2 decades. Kids have grown up into fine young men, and during their high school careers, some of them even played games that were broadcasted on Magnitude Sports. If you like hunting, fishing, general outdoor life, sunrise, sunset, everything hunting and fishing related, dogs, hunting dogs, they're the best. Then check out the channel and show them some love. Go to Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe to them today.
All right, defensive changes for the Oak Grove Jacks. The shortstop, Ethan Dudek, comes in to pitch. ID looks like he moves over to third base. And the third baseman, Trey Hatfield, moves over to shortstop. Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Kindred Vikings, it's Grant Spellhog. He takes strike 1. And he takes strike 2. Dudek on to pitch for the Jacks, facing Spellhog, who is 1 for 1 with a double and a walk. Swinging and a foul back to the screen. Jacks took a 4-0 lead in the top of the 1st inning, added 1 in the 2nd. Vikings came back with their 2 in the bottom of the 3rd, and then the Jacks put up 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. 10 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Jacks. 2 runs, 4 hits, and 6 errors for the Kindred Vikings. Spellhog fouls this one back out of play. Vikings looking to do some damage here in the bottom of the 5th. Get some base runners on. Spellhog can hit the ball. Here's a pitch, breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Dudek kicks and fires. Fastball lined into the hole between third and short. And a base hit for Spellhog. That's his 2nd base hit of the game. He's 2 for 2. And that brings up Jack McDonald. He's walked twice. One of them drove in a run. So no official at-bats. In 2 plate appearances, he's drawn 2 walks. 1 run batted in. He was stranded at first base each time. 5th hit for the Vikings. And Dudek pitching out of the windup or stretch for the first time. Throws ball 1 to Jack McDonald. Swing and a miss by Jack McDonald. 1-1 the count. And Dudek kicks and fires. Big, tall, right-handed pitcher. Throws ball 2. So both starting pitchers are out of this ball game. Ide comes out. They're not out of the ball game, but they're no longer pitching, put it that way. Here's a ground ball over to first base, and Liebel will go down to second base. And Jake Ring was covering second base and made the out. So McDonald reaches on the fielder's choice on a 3-4 put out. Don't see that real often. And there's one away. That brings up the first baseman, Carson Andel. He flew out to center in the second and third innings. And here's a pitch, takes a fastball up. Kindred Vikings down by a score of 10-2 to the Oak Grove Jacks. And here's a pitch from Dudek. Jack McDonald takes off. Long throw down to second base is not in time. Jack McDonald has himself some speed. He'll steal second base. Pretty close play. Nice throw from Hermstead, the catcher. Carson Andel up in the count, 2-0. And here's a pitch, swing and a miss. Looked like a fastball from Dudek. Kind of tied Andel up a little bit. And here's a pitch from Dudek. Fastball, swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Grant Spellhog started the inning off with a base hit, hard hit single to left field. Forced out at second base on the fielder's choice by Jack McDonald. And now here's a swing and a miss again. And there's 2 outs. Carson Andel goes down on strikes for the second out. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Andy Traum. Andy Traum back in the second inning. Kind of hit a semi-line drive, half line drive, half blooper out to the shortstop, who made a brilliant catch. Dudek, the pitcher at the time, was a shortstop at the time, now the pitcher. And Dudek saved a run. And then Traum walked in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss on strike 1. It's 0-1 to Traum, and here's a pitch. Fastball up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dudek on to pitch. Sports double zeros. Jack McDonald on second base. Fastball over for strike 2. Wind's kind of blowing from left field, the left field line over to the right field line. Kind of a northwest direction. Fastball up and away to Traum. Traum's the 8th batter. Sports number 10. Lucas Dahl's on deck. And here's a pitch from Dudek. Off-speed pitch, way up high. That was pitch number 20 for Dudek this inning. Fills the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And here we go. Fastball way up high, and Traum draws his second walk.
Traum draws walk, brings up number 6. That fielder, Lucas Dahl.
Bjorn Ide started for the Oak Grove Jacks. Gave up just 2 runs over 4 innings. And here's Lucas Dahl. Ball's in the dirt, and McDonald trying to reach third base. A throw down to third base is in time. Nice play by the catcher, Mason Hermstead. The ball was in the dirt. He was able to pick it up. It only went a few feet away from him, and he was able to throw out the speedy Jack McDonald to end the inning. So Lucas Dahl will lead off the 5th inning, or the 6th inning for the Vikings. So in that inning, no runs were scored. There was 1 base hit. 1 runner left on base after McDonald gets thrown out at third to end the inning. At the end of 5 innings, the Jacks lead it by a score of 10-2 over the Kindred Vikings, and you're listening to Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Does a ghost pepper wing that doesn't send you into tears make any sense? Sure does to us. That's why Popeye's ghost pepper wings are more flavorful than fireful. Because in NOLA, we like to taste our food, not cry over it. We don't make sense. We make chicken.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
At Popeyes, we've got a feast for your family. Whether it's spicy or mild fried chicken or tenders, our brand new homestyle mac and cheese, or any of our other delicious sides, there's something for everyone at the table. Try it today and earn points with Popeyes Rewards.
Do you have a teen ready for driving lessons? Don't know what they need to do or when things need to be done? If busyness keeps you from driving with them, then Gotta Go Driving School is the place to call. Jeff Weber at Gotta Go Driving School has been teaching driving lessons to all age groups since 1991. Call Jeff at Gotta Go Driving, 238-0236. Jeff will tell you to start planning ahead now. Don't wait. Got a new driver? Then it's Gotta Go Driving School. Talk to Jeff or go online at gottagodrivingschool.com.
And we're back. Grant Spellhog on the mound for the Vikings. Kicks and fires. The batter is Bjorn Eid. He was the pitcher, the starting pitcher. He moved over to third base. Bjorn Eid went 4 innings. Gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, walked 5, struck out 5. Takes strike 1 as the hitter here. Grant Spellhog took over in the top of the 5th inning for Tate Miller. Faced 4 batters in the 5th. Swinging a pop fly out to the shortstop Dylan Stone, and he makes the play. Bjorn Eid is out. We'll call that a pop fly, I guess, to the shortstop Dylan Stone, and there's 1 away. Dakota Olson, the hitter. He's 0 for 2. He's a designated hitter tonight. Wears number 34. Takes strike 1. He walked in the 1st inning and grounded out to second in the 3rd, and grounded out to shortstop in the 4th inning. Takes ball 1 outside. 10-2 in favor of the Oak Grove Jacks over the Kindred Vikings. Spellhog's fastball is down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Spellhog kicks and fires. Fastball up. Swing and a miss by the right-handed hitter, Dakota Olson. Owen Hoyme, the catcher for the Vikings, behind the plate. Fastball just missed, up and away. Makes the count full. And here's Spellhog's pitch. Fastball up and away. And Olson draws his second walk. That's a second walk issued by Grant Spellhog. Brings up the 9th hitter in the lineup for the Oak Grove Jacks. That's Beck Alvin. He's a left fielder. He's 0 for 3. Struck out looking in the 1st, flew out to center in the 3rd, and lined out to shortstop in the 5th inning. Takes ball 1. And here's a pitch. Low and away, ball 2. Grant Spellhog takes a look over at first base, throws a fastball up and away, way up and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Carson Andel over at first base holding the runner on. And the pitch. Called strike 1. And the 3-1. Fastball up and away. Second walk in a row. Alvin reaches first on the pass ball, or on the bases on balls. Runners on first and second. We go back to the top of the order for the Jacks. That's a first baseman, Cam Liebel. He's playing over at first base today. Swing and hits a chopper out to shortstop. Dylan Stone with a chance. Kicks it over to Trom, and that's all they'll get. They'll be happy with that 1 out. Nice play by Dylan Stone, getting that runner from first base. So Liebel reaches first base on the fielder's choice. Beck Alvin is out at second base on a 6-4 put out. That's the second out. Dakota Olson down to third base. Brings up the starting shortstop and now the pitcher, relief pitcher for the Jacks. It's double zeros, Ethan Dudek. Has a chance to do some damage here. Sees a fastball over for strike 1. Dudek has 4 runs scored today. Singled in the 1st, reached on a strikeout in the 2nd, And now he hits a ground ball into the hole, fielded by Stone. Long throw over to first base, not going to be in time. Now it gets by the first baseman, Carson Andel. Beautiful stop by Dylan Stone, but he threw over to first base, and Carson Andel could not handle the throw that just happened to hit the lip of the grass and the dirt and kind of bounced away. So that'll go as a throwing error for Dylan Stone. It's an infield single. Infield single for the hitter, Dudek. He'll get an RBI, but he'll advance a second on the error, and Liebel will reach third on the same throwing error. So 7 errors now for the Vikings. Dakota Olson scores on that play. It is an RBI for Dudek. So 1 ball, no strike count to the hitter, now third baseman Trey Hatfield. Actually, he's playing shortstop now, I believe. Swinging, he hits a high pop fly. It's over towards the press box. Hoyme gives chase. I completely lost sight of him as well, but that ball fell foul. And it's a 1-1 count. Trey Hatfield singled in the first inning, scored a run, flew out to right in the second. Singled in the fourth, came around to score. It was an RBI single, and reached on an error in the fifth. Breaking ball inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Hatfield. And here's a fastball ripped down the right field line, and that is a foul ball. Foul ball. It goes out of our kind of our blind spot here, as I just messed up the camera a little bit. Kind of our blind spot down the line. I could see out kind of the corner window here, and it was just foul, probably within a foot of that white chalk down the right field line. So it goes as a long strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball hits the batter right in the left hand. That hurts. They always say you're not supposed to rub it, but whoever says that has never been hit in the hand with a fastball. That hurts. That smarts. He'll reach the first base on the hit batsman. That loads him up. That'll bring up the catcher, Mason Hermstead. Mason Hermstead's having a great day behind the plate. A lot of backhand stops. Threw out Jack McDonald to end the last inning. And the bases are loaded. It's an 11-2 score in favor of the Jacks. 11 runs on 9 hits for the Jacks. They haven't hurt themselves. No errors today. Fastball, high pop fly behind home plate. Hoyme gives chase, but he's going to run out of room, and it's going to land foul. Over on the concrete down the third base line. 0-1 the count to Hermstead. Hermstead had a 2-run single in the first inning. Singled in the second, another RBI. Reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth and grounded out for another RBI. He's driven in 4 runs today, scored 2. Swing and a high fly ball out to deep left center field. That's going to be trouble, and that ball is gone. We got ourselves a grand slam for the catcher, Mason Hermstead, and he's taking off his batting gloves as he's rounding the bases. But a long grand slam to left center field just under the scoreboard. And his teammates gathering around home plate to watch Mason Hermstead come and jump on home plate. A long grand slam. That man's driven in 8 runs today. A 2-run single in the first, an RBI single in the second, a ground out RBI in the fifth, and now a grand slam. 8 runs batted in, and he scored 3. So Liebel scores. Dudek scores. Dudek has scored 5 runs today. Hatfield comes in. He scored 3 today. And now the hitter for the Jacks is John Ash, the center fielder, and he grounds one up the middle. Dylan Stone has a tough hop. Kind of ate him up a little bit. And they're going to give Dylan Soner an error on that one, so it's E6. Did kind of take a slight rough hop for Dylan Stone. He looked like he played it correctly. Just kind of took a little tough hop. That'll be the 8th error on the Vikings. And here's a pitch from Spellhog. It's a ball in the dirt, about a 50-footer. And here's a wild pitch. That'll get John Ashe down to second base. Jake Ring is the batter, by the way. But Ethan Dudek has scored 5 runs today. Two 2-0 the count to the hitter, Jake Ring. 15-2 lead for the Oak Grove Jacks. And here's the pitch from Spellhog. Fastball hit hard out to second base. Strom misplays it, and it'll bounce its way out into right field. Nick Dahl falls down, and now he's comes up injured a little bit. Kind of falls down, so that'll be an error on Strom. Ashe comes around to score. So that'll be scored E4. Ashe comes across to score. Not sure if they gave Nick Dahl an error on that play. And a swing and a foul ball back for Bjorn Eid. He's the 10th batter of this inning, so no error on Eric Dahl out in right field. Jake Ring reaches first base on the error. Ashe comes across the score on that same error. And here's ball 1 to Eid. Eid's now playing third base. He reached on an error in the first, flew out in the second. He hits a high fly ball out to left field, but it is caught by the left fielder, Lucas Dahl. The Jacks bat 10 men in that inning, come up with 6 runs, make it a 16-2 score. They do leave 1 runner on base. And at the end of 5.5 innings, the Jacks put up 6 runs in the 6th inning. It's 16-2 in favor of the Oak Grove Jacks over the Kindred Vikings. And the Vikings are coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning and got to put up some runs, otherwise the 10-run rule will kick in. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Santana Concrete LLC in Barnesville comes highly recommended from their customers. But don't take our word for it, take theirs. Dan states that the team is
polite, friendly, and efficient.
Lee tells us that
quality work for a fair price is hard to find.
Here's Mike from Post 400 Baseball.
Santana Concrete did a wonderful job laying the concrete foundation for our new press box.
And Jasmine shares
they do amazing work.
Check them out by searching Santana Concrete LLC on Facebook or call 218-790-6560.
Watching Kindred Vikings baseball and Magnitude Sports. Vikings find themselves down by a score of 16-2. Great ball game for Mason Hermstead, the catcher for the Jacks. 8 runs batted in, including a grand slam in the 6th inning. Leadoff hitter for the Vikings in the 6th inning is Lucas Dahl. He's a left fielder. He's over 2. He struck out a couple of times. Looking to get things started for the Vikings. Vikings need to come up with 5 runs this inning. Otherwise, a 10-run rule obviously takes effect. Dudek on the mound for the Oak Grove Jacks. He started out at shortstop. Fastball over for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lucas Dahl, a right-handed hitter. And here's a pitch from the tall, lanky right-hander. Ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dudek looks on. Kicks and fires. Fastball, line down the right field line. That's going to drift foul down the right field line. Again, right in our blind spot. That right field line is very much our blind spot for our camera up here. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Lucas Dahl, battling up at the plate, trying to work his way on base. And here's a pitch, ball low, full count. Beautiful night for baseball in Kindred. And here's a pitch way up high. It's been a fun night of baseball despite the score. We had the saga of the baby bird over the dugout for Oak Grove. Last report was a baby bird was safe in the trees. Lucas Dahl draws a walk. And nobody out. And Nick Dahl will be the hitter. Nick is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Grounded out in the first, walked in the third, and scored a run and struck out in the fourth. Takes ball 1. Looking to keep things going here. And the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. And Dudek looks on. And here's a pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jack's looking to hold the Vikings here to get that win in. Here's a ground ball right back to the pitcher. He throws down to second base. And a beautiful play by the shortstop. And they turn the double play. My goodness. My goodness. Dudek got the ground ball back to him. He throws kind of errantly out to the shortstop. And that's Hatfield at short, who kept his foot on the bag and was somehow able to get up and make the throw over to first base in time for the 1-6-3 double play. Nice play. Beautiful play by the Oak Grove Jacks. A 1-6-3 double play. There's 2 outs. Brings to the plate the catcher, Owen Hoyme. Hoyme is 1 for 2 on the evening. He flew out in the first inning, singled sharply in the third, and came around to score and walked in the fourth and was stranded at second base. 2 balls and no strikes to him. Owen Hoyme's done a nice job behind the plate today. Right-handed hitter, looking to keep this game alive. And the pitch from Dudek. Fastball, swing and a miss. It's an outstanding play by the shortstop, Hatfield. Somehow able to keep his foot on the base and keep the ball from going into center field, and then somehow was able to stand up and get enough on that throw to complete the double play. And here's the pitch. Ball low. And Hoyme draws his second walk of the evening. And that'll bring up number 17, Carson Krebsbach. He's 1 for 3 on the evening. Grounded up to short in the first, struck out looking in the third, and singled in the fourth inning. He's 1 for 3. Fastball, swing and a miss. Hoyme drew the walk. He's at first base. And Dudek with a fastball up high. 1-1 the count. And here's a pitch from Dudek. That one's in the dirt. Nice to stop once again by the catcher. Mason Hermstead, not to beat a dead horse, but the man's played pretty well behind the plate. Thrown out some runners, and he's driven in 8 runs today, including that grand slam. in the 6th inning. It's another ball to the hitter, Krebsbach. 3-1 the count, looking to keep this game alive. And here's a pitch. Ball in the dirt, and that one gets by the catcher. We'll see if Hoyme is able to advance, and he's trying to get down to third base, and he's going to be in a pickle now. And now he's in a rundown, and now he's tagged out, accidentally hit in the face a little bit, and that'll end the ball game. Carson Krebsbach drew a walk. Hoyme was safe at second, but then he tried to advance to third, but was thrown out by the catcher, Hermstead. And that's the ball game, folks. The Oak Grove Jacks win it by a score of 16-2 over the Kindred Vikings. There was one runner left on base in that inning for the Vikings. We'll take a quick break here, and we'll come back and recap the game a little bit, and we'll be back.
Doolittle's Wood-Fire Grill is an experience that ignites your senses, featuring wood-fired rotisserie cooking. Grilling meat over an open flame creates that savory wood-roasted flavor, while the rotisserie rotation results in juicy and succulent meats. Doolittle's even has an outdoor fire pit that creates a relaxing setting to wine and dine for any occasion. Visit DoolittlesRestaurants.com for a full menu or to make a reservation. Doolittle's Wood-Fire Grill, 2112 25th Street South in Fargo, or call ahead at 701-478-2200.
We're back. Beautiful Kindred, North Dakota. Vikings lose a tough one today. The Kindred Vikings fall to the Oak Grove Jacks by a score of 16-2. I'd like to take this time to thank our sponsor again, Kindred Express Lane. The scoreboard sponsors for today, 16-2 loss to the Oak Grove Jacks for the Vikings. Tommy's Express Car Wash, MLGC, Runnings, Popeyes. I'd also like to thank Bolger Funeral Home, Goldmark Commercial Real Estate, Cheyenne Septic Service, Kindred State Bank, Stein Seed, Gotta Go Driving School, and Park Company Realtors, along with Nipstead Farms and Nipstead Management Solutions, Kindred Storage, and Kindred Area Arts Partnership, DJ's Plumbing, Dakota Fins and Feathers. Thank you to our sponsors for bringing you Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports. Vikings fall and have a tough one. The Jacks exploded in the 6th inning for 6 runs, including a grand slam by Mason Hermstead. He ends up driving in 8 runs today. Ethan Dudek scored 5. For the Vikings, they got their 2 runs on an RBI single by Tate Miller back in the 3rd inning, and then an RBI walk from Jack McDonald. That scored Owen Hoyme for their 2 runs. So it was a 5-2 ball game after 3 innings. Vikings felt that they were in that, and then the Oak Grove Jacks just continued to add runs. Well, thank you for watching Kindred Vikings baseball here on Magnitude Sports. My wife Wendy for going through and giving us the equipment today. And thank you to Magnitude Sports for broadcasting this baseball game. And that'll do it for us. Again, the Vikings lose it by a score of 16-2 to the Jacks. And that'll end our broadcast. Thank you for watching.
Preceding broadcast was an exclusive presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network. Subscribe, click the bell, and visit MagnitudeSN.com for a schedule of our upcoming broadcasts.